I had an accountant, and I changed accountants. When I went to my second accountant, it became obvious to me that he was doing my books differently to my first accountant, and I pointed it out. To try and cut this down, I had my books redone by my new accountant, and I got £7,000 rebate from tax that I'd paid. Now, I thought that I shouldn't therefore pay the fees that I'd paid to my initial accountant, and I'm suing him for his fees. Now, my two questions are, firstly, he's threatening me with the legal costs, but as it's a small claim of £10,000, I don't think he can. And secondly, it is still a self-assessment. Although he completed it, it is still a self-assessment. So is he liable? And if not, I don't really know what I was paying it for.
Okay. Great question, Andy. Andy, and this is a professional negligence question, which is the first of my 5 categories for Legal Hour Bingo. Did you call in after I announced that, or is this just a coincidence?
Better to be lucky than good, Daniel.
Excellent. Good. Right. So, first of all, you're suing him. Sorry, how much are you suing him for? How much were his fees?
It's sort of £6,000, but then there's an interest fee, which takes the claim up to just a very, very shade over $10,000. But it is in small claims. But his solicitor has written to me threatening £6,000 of legal costs.
How can interest move $6,000 up to $10,000?
It's just the court fees. You put in the amount, and they calculate the interest. I agree that that's an astronomical figure, but that's a court-calculated fee on the claim form itself.
Well, no, I mean, interest is calculated at 8% simple, not compound, simple per annum. So, I mean, that's about 60% interest. That's about 5 years' worth of interest. Is this from fees?
Yes, he did them wrong for over 7 years. In fact, he did them wrong for longer than that.
Okay.
But some of them are deemed to be out of time.
Okay, fine. Right, so he made mistakes. Just give me in one sentence the nature of the mistakes. Keep it simple.
He didn't calculate when my pension contributions, because I'm PAYE and self-employed, he miscalculated where the pension and the 40% should be calculated. So that was why I was overpaying tax. Okay,
well, that does sound like you've got a credible claim of negligence there. So to answer your two questions, can you be sued for legal costs? No, as long as the primary debt is less than £10,000, and it is. You said it's 6,000 odd. You won't be liable for costs as long as the claim remains in the small claims court. So you're going to be fine there. The only exception is that if it's thought by the judge you brought your claim unreasonably and it had no reasonable chance of success, then costs might be payable. But from what you've told me, Andy, win or lose, it's certainly not an unarguable claim. The second question you asked me is whether you should have been doing it yourself because it's self-assessment. No, many tradesmen or self-employed people have accountants, and you pay the accountant to fill in those horrendous multi-page forms and take all your receipts and make them into some sort of sensible set of numbers that HMRC or anybody can understand. I wouldn't want to spend several days working out my own accounts. I'd much rather pay an accountant to do it. Just because it's called self-assessment doesn't mean it doesn't require an accountant. You can do it yourself, but frankly, Andy, although we know this guy got it wrong, the chances are that if most people did it themselves, they are more likely to get it wrong than an accountant. Does that answer your question? I'm not sure.
Absolutely.
I'm not sure the second one was a legal question, but anyway.
Yeah, well, it is, because that's what his solicitors come back to me saying, that although you used him, the form is still self-assessment.
Oh, that's his solicitor's argument. That because it's called self-assessment, you're responsible and you can't sue for the mistakes. That's drivel.
Yes.
That's absolute nonsense. Oh, I mean, if the solicitors are using that argument, they are desperate. They know they're losing.